Hey YouTube, what's going on? I thought I would change it up a bit and show you the other side of the basement here. And it's kind of getting boring looking at a blank wall with just one painting on it. So hopefully our guests will be able to join us. We're still trying to work out some kinks in the video, but in the meantime, I'll kind of go over some things I've been seeing, some updates that have happened. So update on my blue lots. Now, I don't know if Blue Lots does it every time. They didn't do it on my first lot, but this one required a signature, and I wondered if it's just because of value. So all 3 boxes I ordered required a signature, and it came to my house at 3 o'clock, and I wasn't here. So what I had to do was I basically, you can either pay the $5 and have it shipped between 5 and 8 p.m. the next day, or you can have it held at a FedEx site. And I have one right down the street, so I just figured tomorrow I'll go pick it up. So that's my blue lots. I was hoping I'd get tonight to show you guys, but we'll hold off the suspense until tomorrow. Let's see what we have in the chat. Oh, we got a bunch of people. Gail, Katie Trader, and So Get This Flips. How you doing? Donna and Gail, Four Oaks. How you doing? Adam, Destiny. Hopefully Destiny's been using my spreadsheet, so hopefully we can get that to work for her. Redneck, how you doing? I watched your video this morning on the way to work. I liked it. I liked all the different tips you're doing in there. So keep the videos coming. So Blue Lots was the update, and I looked today. There hasn't been any lots that I've looked at. I saw one that went pretty fast. It was a baby lot, but it was $1,200. I don't know. It's a lot of capital up front, and I'm still kind of new in that area. But so good thing I didn't see that one. But other than that, I haven't found any good ones yet. Destiny won her first Shop Goodwill today. Oh, here we go. Scott, how you doing?
Good, Chris. You there?
Yeah, I'm here. So,
sound okay and everything?
Yeah, sound great. Look great. Perfect.
Okay, good.
All right, so we have Scott Tucker. I'll let you introduce yourself.
Hi, guys. A little nervous, so I'll try to get through this. Chris, you need to help me out a little bit because I can't see the chat. Okay. Because I can't even see the screen. So I'm just looking at the computer. So anyway, you guys know me. I'm Scott Tucker, and I'm legally blind. And I started this little adventure, I would say about 6 months ago. I've had an eBay account since 2000, but I've only been selling for about 6 months. And essentially, it started because I was just getting rid of stuff that I had around the house, and I started watching YouTube videos, and I saw you, Chris, and I saw other people like Global Voodoo, and I started watching the videos, and I thought, well, you know, let me give this a shot, and I'll start with stuff around the house. And that worked out pretty well, and I started getting the hang of things, and I started buying liquidation lots. I bought a bulk lot. And I do a lot of retail arbitrage. I'm a big believer. And maybe I could share some of the stories with you guys about that.
Yeah, we'd love to hear it. I mean, that's pretty interesting how you just started.
Yeah, I don't work, obviously. I'm on disability, so I was looking for something to do, and I've really enjoyed this, and one of the aspects that I really enjoyed is meeting everybody, and I'm kind of from the generation where these live streaming things, I'm just getting used to this, you know, and all this online stuff. So I'm really enjoying the social camaraderie, and I really like, especially on your channel, the way everybody is just trying to help each other out. Nobody's cutthroat. Nobody's trying to, undercut or buy lots from other people or anything like that. It's just a community trying to help each other out and make, a little money. Or I don't know. I suppose there's people out there that are doing this full time, so make a lot of money, I hope.
Right. No, I completely agree with you. Just because, I mean, I just like you. I mean, I saw YouTube videos and I saw, people going live, and I never did that. So I said, why not give it a shot and just show people what I've been doing? Because like you, when I started, there was nothing there for me. There's no liquidation. I mean, there's probably 1 or 2 videos, but there wasn't really, hey, this is how you do it. This is what to look for, and this is how you sell it. So I said, okay, let me try to show people what I'm doing. It might not be the best, but let's try it out. So, and once I started that, I met all you guys and girls in the chat and on YouTube. And like you said, everybody that I've interacted with and everyone that's always come every night, I've gone away every night and learned something new. So that's what I like about it.
So have I. And again, I like that as well. That is tremendous. I mean, the input from everybody that has been on your channel has been tremendous. And I'm really nervous, but I really wanted to come on because it's been hard for me to try to get some ideas across, because texting and chatting and stuff like that, I try to rely on the voice recognition software to do that, and it's really tough. And like the other night, I was trying to explain to you guys about a couple of incidents that have happened to me on eBay and stuff like that. And by the time I get done texting, you guys are talking about something else. So, yeah. or I run out of room. So I thought, well, I want to give this a shot, and see how it goes. It's nice. This is one of the aspects that works well for me, being legally blind, because I can't see. So I just pretend I'm talking to myself. So that's kind of what I'm doing. So yeah, anyway, I wanted to touch a little bit, if it's okay with you. One of the things, as you know, I buy liquidation. I think I'm on my 10th lot or something like that. And I like it a lot. You do have to test things. You have to clean things up. You have to remove the stickers. It's some work. But, I've never really lost money, and you can get some really good stuff. I've kept a lot of good stuff.
That's the problem too, right?
Yeah, exactly. And you said the other night, you made a comment and said that you look at it as if you sell that item that you're wanting to keep, you can probably make enough money on that lot to buy a brand new one.
Right.
And I agree with you 100%. I look at it the same way when there's something in the lot that I think I want to keep. I think to myself, okay, is this something I could sell and make more money and buy it new?
New upgrade, right?
Exactly. But I don't keep very much. I try to sell everything, even if it's broken. I got that negative feedback the other day because I did sell something that was not working properly. It was kind of working, but it wasn't working properly, and I sold it as not working for parts. And I put in the notes that I was able to get it to power up, but it was intermittent. And then, of course, I never heard from the guy. He got it, and he never contacted me. And then yesterday I got negative feedback.
Yep. Did you call?
I did. And eBay, I hear a lot of people say that eBay sides with the buyer, and I have to agree. I told them, I said, listen, this was sold as parts as is. It was stated in the title. It was stated in the body of the listing. It was stated in the condition. And I include a packing slip, obviously, with all my shipments. And on the packing slip, I even indicated that this was an as-is sale per the listing.
Wow.
And, I explained that to eBay, and they were pretty much like, I believe her exact response was, well, this is not what you're going to want to hear, but you have two choices. You can either try to work it out with the buyer, or you can respond to the negative feedback. And so I did. I responded to the negative feedback, and I I really was hesitant to work out with the buyer because in all my listings,
Yep.
I have a paragraph that says, should you be unhappy for any reason, please contact us before leaving negative or derogatory feedback, and we want happy customers.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, that's in there, and he never attempted to contact me.
Yeah.
He, you know, I would have worked something out. I would have given him some money. I would have, you know, worked it out. I've done that with many people, but he just left negative feedback out of the blue. 30 days, over 30 days after he had received the item.
Wow.
So,
did you do a feedback? Did you do a feedback revision?
I did not. I just did the rebuttal. I responded to the feedback.
Okay. Did you message him saying, "Hey, what can I do to help you out?"
I have not yet because I'm still trying to get unpissed. You know, it's like I want to say to this guy, what you know, what's the deal? You've had this thing for over 30 days and you didn't bother to contact me and say I'm not happy or anything. You just go and leave negative feedback.
Yeah.
So I probably will at some point email him and, you know, see if there's something we can work out. But
yeah, I get the same way. I get mad, but then I'm like, okay, I just got to let it go. I got to get the feedback removed, and I got to move on. I have 100 other things to sell.
Exactly. And typically that's what I do. I'm sure you have too. I've had a lot of, well, not a lot, but I've had, you know, returns, and I just accept them. And actually, when a customer contacts me for a return, I have an email that I send apologizing and basically saying that we strive for everyone to have a positive shopping experience, and we hope to have the opportunity again in the future to work with you or to provide you with a better shopping experience. So I include that every time, whether I like it or not, I do. So, you know, I include that, and it's worked so far.
Yep. So a couple updates in the chat. It's Adam says, what do you say? He said he likes your dog. Hold on.
Oh, you can see the dog. And the place is a mess. I apologize, but this is my storage facility.
It's like all of us, right? He said, tell Scott he has a cute dog. So there's got Adam in there.
Thank Gail you. That's Oliver.
Yeah. Oliver the dog. Nice to meet him. Gail says, hi, Scott. I've been legally blind for 19 years. Mine is more low vision.
I'm sorry, what low vision?
That was Gail, low vision.
Oh, hi, Gail. Yeah, don't worry, we'll get you your club card out in the mail here, and we'll get you to join the club. Yeah. So,
Demir says they do not read the description, period.
Yeah, I believe I think that comes up in every video that they don't read the descriptions. I think everybody says that.
Yep.
And I guess the thing that bothers me is that, you know, I've read a lot of emails and I've read a lot of stuff about this. In, you know, it's disturbing to me that eBay is enabling this kind of behavior by not making these people accountable, you know, for their actions. And this negative feedback, as far as I can see, people can see that forever. I mean, it'll go away from your recent feedback, but you can click on view all feedback and it's on there now forever. And, you know, I think, you know, that eBay just, I don't think they educate people enough, or they don't realize that we're really, I think we're just all learning, or most of us. A lot of, you know, some of us have done it longer and stuff, but we're not professionals, or, you know, maybe we aspire to be professionals, but we're not. Essentially, eBay is a site for anybody that wants to sell something regardless whether your profession is selling or retail or what have you. It gives you a platform to sell on. And I think, you know, eBay's response is, you know, that they don't give you any leeway or anything when it comes to this negative feedback. And I think that they need to maybe, I'd like to see them work with sellers equally. In other words, training, you know, and being more lenient, or,
Yep.
you know what I'm saying? I just think
it needs to be like a case-by-case basis, I think. They need to look at each case. But I wonder, my question is, how many cases are they getting a day? So I think that's where they're trying to be cut and dry. Whereas if they went into detail on everybody, they might take too long. I don't know. I would love to know that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things about eBay that I find a little gray area. Like, you know, we were talking about promoted listings, and, you know, you can select from, I don't know what the lowest number is, but from 0 to 30% of the selling cost to pay for a promoted listing when it sells. But what they don't tell you is, and what I haven't been able to find out is, what does that mean? In other words, if you pay 30%, does that mean your ad or your sponsor is going to be seen 30% of the time more? 10% of the time more? What are you getting for that money?
Right.
And
yeah, that's all they don't really spell out what you get. You kind of assume, hey, I'm going to get promoted, but I don't know what that means.
Exactly. I mean, and you spend 30%, and I have that lens, you know, that hasn't sold yet. I've got that on its promoted listing, and you know, if that sells, I think I've got that at 10%. Well, that's 20 or 30 bucks,
right.
You know, just for the promoted listing, on top of the fees and PayPal and everything else.
That'd be your shipping costs.
And shipping. Oh, jeez. I was just looking at my numbers today, and my fees so far this month, including shipping, are 41% of my sales.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's huge. That's, you know, that's 9 points from half.
That's why you gotta learn all the tips and tricks of the shipping, right? Use the right boxes, use the right, you know.
Exactly. I always do. I mean, I try to, you know, when you go into, I use eBay shipping, so, you know, I buy my postage through eBay, PayPal, and I always click on the compare rates for the regional boxes and the flat rate envelope and what have you. So I always click on that to see what the lowest rate is, and that's what I try and use. But even by doing that, you know, 41% are PayPal fees, promoted listing fees, eBay fees, you know. That's a lot, in my opinion.
I agree. Let's see. Demir said, so it looks like Demir and Gail says to call again. You might get a different answer.
I'm going to try that too.
And then Ed says, Ed has a good point. He says, he would like to see eBay do away with the feedback remarks and just make it a rating system.
That's a good idea. I like that. I think that could work as well. I think that, you know, this, like, negative feedback, first of all, you know, I try my best, as well, I'm sure all of us do, that we certainly, I can't imagine any one of us is going out there trying to piss off anybody.
Yeah. I'm not shooting for feedback, negative.
Exactly. So, you know, I had 100% positive feedback until this was my first negative feedback, and it just ruined my whole day. I'm like, you know, I was just, but I guess, you know, it's something that you have to deal with if you're dealing with the general public, because there are people that have different outlooks and will just, instead of trying to contact you and resolve it, they'll just leave negative feedback because they're mad or upset or
they don't know. They don't realize that negative feedback means a lot more than they think it does.
Exactly correct. And I don't think eBay educates the sellers. I don't mean the sellers. I mean the buyers. you know, it is nice because if you try to leave negative feedback, it says, "Are you sure you want to leave negative feedback for this?" Uh, you know, and I suppose that's their attempt at being pro seller, I guess. So, but obviously that doesn't always work. So you move on. I'm moving on, and I made 3 sales today, and I was hoping that UPS said my lot was coming today, so I was going to do, you know, do the box with you tonight. But I got another update said it's coming tomorrow, so we missed it.
So let's transition to that. What do you look for? So are you strictly liquidation now, since you've done all the house stuff, or how do you get? What do you look for in your products? Where do you go?
Well, I've been looking at blue lots. I've been looking at liquidation. I look at bulk. I look at via trading. You know, listen, it's like I'll sell anything that's not nailed down, and I'll buy anything that's not nailed down, as long as I can make money. You know, so I will look at anything and everything. But what I find to be that really works the best for me is retail arbitrage. And I don't know if it's just where I live or what the deal is, but you know, go to Walgreens, for example, and I don't know, I'm going to try to show this to you. I bought these battery chargers, brand new from Walgreens, and I think I paid $2 each, and I sold them for $17.99. And yeah, and they're all gone.
Wow.
I bought a lot of toys from Walgreens, and they sell quickly. I mean, I pay $1 or $2 for $20 toys. I was in Walgreens today, as a matter of fact. I'll tell you a story. And I like to sell beauty products for women. I tried selling women's clothes, but that was tough. I sell men's clothes essentially now. But I like to sell beauty products, especially brand name beauty products that are well known. So I was there in the store, and I'm always walking up and down the aisles. And the thing I like about Walgreens is their clearance tags are this bright orange.
Oh yeah.
So I can see it real well. So so I walk down the aisles, and I happen to run into this product made by a company called Wet n Wild, and it's makeup brushes. It's a limited edition for the holidays, makeup brushes. And Walgreens wanted $30, and of course I have my phone with me, so I go to eBay and I tagged the UPC code, and it didn't come up. So I typed in, excuse me, I typed in the name, and it came up, and it's selling for between $59 and $79 new. And since I buy so much from Walgreens, I had $50 worth of Walgreens points, and they had 25% off. So I bought 5 of them online for 25% off. I paid $22 total, and I'm going to put them up for $49 or $54, and they're brand new. I try to do retail arbitrage as much as I can because the product is brand new. So a brand new product, you are really asking for less problems with a brand new product.
Every day you do it?
I'm sorry?
Every day do you go?
Yeah, I mean, every day I get a chance. You know, obviously I don't drive, so, you know, when my mother needs to go to Walgreens or somebody's going to Target, I try to find the clearance stuff wherever I go. We go to Albertsons. I don't know if you guys have that. It's a grocery chain out here, but that's where we buy our groceries. And I go to the clearance center all the time, and the stuff sits there. And I have a friend at this Walgreens, and she texts me and says all the clearance is 75% off now.
Mm-hmm.
So I went in there and I buy nail polish, and and I pay pennies on the dollar for this stuff, and it may be shelf pulls, it may be last year's model, but it's sealed, it's brand new, and it still looks brand new.
So do you sit there for a while and start and scanning it, or what's the process? You just go through everything?
I do. I kind of I'm like you. I'm starting to develop some ideas of what stuff is worth stuff. Like, for example, toys. The Nerf products, huge. And anything Star Wars, as long as it's licensed Star Wars stuff, or Disney stuff, that stuff is huge too, as long as it's licensed. And it typically is, because I only do that stuff retail arbitrage. Yep. And that stuff sells like crazy. And I bought some Disney character bubble things for kids, where they electronically shoot out these bubbles, and I paid, I think, under $2 for them, and they sold for, I think, $16 or $17, and then plus shipping. So and they sell out pretty quick. So I run into a lot of retail arbitrage deals. There's and because in one aspect I'm kind of lucky in that I don't want to say I don't work, because I'm working my butt off on this, but I get to spend a lot of time on the internet. So there's a couple of maybe I can give a shout out here. I don't know if it's proper to do this, but there's a couple of places that I like to go on the internet and look at their clearance on the internet. And there's a department store in New York called Century 21. Never heard of it before, but they sell designer products, and I've gone to their clearance section, and I have bought women's clothing for $3, $4 for leggings, shoes.
This is online you're doing this?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
And the nice thing about retail arbitrage, like Walgreens and Steinmart, I do a lot, and I don't know if you guys have Steinmart, but the other nice thing is they'll take the stuff back.
Yep.
So if it doesn't sell, if you want, you take it back. So there's no harm, no foul. There's no you have really no skin in the game. As long as it's still, you don't take the tags off, and of course I don't.
Right.
So,
man, so it sounds like you have a good little process going for retail and online. I've been in Target and looked at the clearance, but I found ink and it was sold for $3. So, I mean, I haven't found anything yet, but I keep looking.
Yeah, some places. I was in Home Depot today, and I looked at their clearance, and they're nuts. I think if I pushed it, what I try to do too is, I'll get a hold of a manager if I had time. I didn't have time today, and I'll say, look, what kind of deal will you work with me if I take all of it, or some of it, or whatever, And a lot of times they will. On the clearance stuff, to get it out of there, they will work with you. So, and that's my favorite thing, retail arbitrage. But I like liquidation lots as well, because there's a certain something about opening the boxes and
yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, it is fun, and it's fun watching you do it. I really enjoy watching everybody open the boxes and talking about the products and ways to fix the products, or get them fixed, or maybe use a warranty situation on a manufacturer, if you could do that. But it's a lot of fun. I enjoy that.
Oh yeah, I mean, especially when you start, I don't want to say getting good at it, but you start figuring out what products you like the best, and what appear to be, back to what you talked about, people not knowing how to use stuff. So a lot of times, some of the products I find, people just didn't know how to use them, or they didn't want them. So a lot of times I'm going to make it up and say, you know, if they get this controller and 99% of the population doesn't know how to work this when they buy brand new. So I know I'm going to look for this item and I'm going to get it and it's going to work. And then I know I'm going to make my money on that one item, as an example.
Yes, sir. And I learned that from you. I learned that from watching you. And, you know, that's why I started buying and started looking for certain items. And I tried to use that. There's a third-party application on eBay that you can. It's free, and it tells you about. It's like the Amazon deal that tells you about essentially the ranking and of the product.
Jungle Scouter, FBA scan.
Yeah, and I tried using that, but you know what I find is what's best is to watch these videos. Watch Global Voodoo, watch you, watch Redneck, watch you know, a lot of these videos, and you see what sells, you know, and what everybody is having luck with. And then, like you said, once you start doing that, and then you just start knowing what your
money makers are, and that's what you do. Now, this last lot I bought, there's that it's that that thing I told you about the other day, and I think it was last night's chat, and I asked you about it. I'd look it up, but I'd have to go over there. But it's that converter for the controllers for, I think it was either Nintendo or something. Yep.
And you looked it up on eBay and
yeah. I'm trying to remember now. It was some weird thing I never saw before.
Exactly. That's why I was asking you about it. And it was selling for, I think, you know, $160, $180 on eBay.
Yeah.
So, and I paid $220 for the lot delivered, $225. So I really bought the lot. And then there were other things there that I knew were money makers that would sell. But I bought the lot, you know, when I looked at that and I went, well, you know, heck, even if I can get $100 for that one item, assuming it's not broken or it's not broken too badly, you know, that's going to pay for half of it right there.
Yep. And then, I mean, I had the same item like that. It was a converter that converted your PlayStation 4 controllers and your Xbox One controllers for the computer, I think it was. Never heard of it before in my life, just like the item you showed. I sold it, I think, for $115 in the same night. So that got added to the list. I'm trying to find what it was called, but so those items, you start to learn those. And then on the flip side, you start to learn, okay, look at their manifest. I see these HBS 900 earphones. They claim to be $90. Well, this was one of the ones they had up top. And I don't know if you could tell, it's HBS 900, but it's not LG tone.
Yep.
Kind of dark. It's the fake brand. And I'm like, okay, I never even trust any HBS products anymore. So just those things to look at.
Well, and this is stuff that you learn kind of like on the job training, I guess. You know, like I said, I think this is my 10th lot on liquidation, and you know, 10 lots in, and I've most of those are electronics. Most of those are electronics. I think one of them was cosmetics, which I did well on, but it's a pain. And one of them was for some cell phone cases, nice ones. And I've done well on it. It was cheap. I think I paid $35 for the lot.
Wow.
You know, so and that was for 10 of them. And you know, I did okay. They take a while to sell, but I did okay.
They're long tail items.
Yeah, but they were brand new. These were
Oh,
brand
wow.
new. Yeah.
Better than.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Question we had come in is, where are you located? Curious.
I'm in Scottsdale, Arizona, and that's a suburb of Phoenix, just east of Phoenix proper.
Yep.
And it's hotter than heck here.
Well, it just got cold here. I think it's what, 46 degrees now?
Oh, what I would give for 46 degrees. 46 degrees isn't our low in the winter.
Adam says he has a guy in Casey's group that buys Home Depot all the time and kills it on eBay. Same sort of thing you're doing, but at Home Depot, I guess.
I worked for a while for Lowe's back in 2010 for 3 years. And I learned how they work their inventory, and I learned who to ask and how to do clearance. Now, there's not a Lowe's close to me. And the Lowe's that I worked at, I've moved since, and it's far away. But and I don't know anybody there anymore. But I still have stuff in the garage, Kohler bathroom sinks, Kohler faucets, light fixtures, stuff that I can't sell on eBay, obviously because of shipping, but I'm going to do local. Right. But I plan on this winter, because we hear in the summertime you can't work outside. You just can't. You can't do anything outside.
It's scorching there.
120 degrees, and then if you're in the garage, it's 140 degrees. So with winter coming and it's taking its time, one of my projects is to get in the garage and get all this stuff that I had from Lowe's that I bought. Again, pennies on the dollar. $5 I paid for a Kohler faucet that I'm going to sell for $150. It's still a current viable Kohler product. So that's all in the garage, and I'm going to start working on that this winter, like I said, when it cools down. But right now, you can't drink enough water.
Looks like Destiny says liquidation has been so dry for her. That's crazy, because it's been completely opposite for me. I don't know about you.
She said it's dry?
Yeah, supposedly it's either, if Destiny, maybe if you want to expound on your question or your statement. I mean, I'm finding stuff every day. I don't know.
Yeah, like me too.
For Xbox One controller, and found one that no one even ever touched.
Yeah, I mean, Joy-Con, Xbox, on Nintendo, anything like that. I mean, yeah, I find lots every day. I don't buy them every day. I have to. My pace is a little bit different. My expansion of my business, if you will. I'm not really looking to expand. This is really more of a hobby for me, kind of thing. But the extra money is very nice. But yeah, I mean, I see stuff every day, and blue lots. I haven't seen anything, but they've added a bunch of new lots yesterday, and I was on there, and there was one that I was thinking about pulling the trigger on, and I can't remember what it was, but yeah, every day I see something. If I bought all the lots that I see every day,
yeah.
I mean, part of it is just space. I have my bedroom is my office and my warehouse. I live with my mother in a small condo. And last week, the inventory was migrating its way out of my bedroom into the hallway.
Mine's in my kitchen waiting to go in my garage because I listed it all. So,
yeah. So after a couple of times, my mom says, this is an accident waiting to happen. You better get rid of this. So I did. I ran a sale. I said, okay, Mom, I'll run a sale.
So your question about blue lots, I'm trying to get them on. So I have Thursday at what is it, 9 p.m. Eastern. I'm going to have Nueco Solutions on. So they're a partner of PS 101. And then I want to get Jesse from Blue Lots on. So I want to understand from him how he's putting stuff out there, what he's putting out there, how he's doing stuff that can help us out. So basically what you talked about earlier is, okay, when are his lots going up? Is he working his lots every 2 hours? Is he putting them up at noon? Because for me, I'm going out there now looking, and I'm trying to go out there every hour, every 2 hours to see, okay, when's the new stuff coming out? Because if you miss them, if they're there, because they're gone, people will go out there and they'll buy them. So I'm trying to see when that timing is to see, okay, when's he putting stuff out? When can I buy it?
Absolutely. Absolutely. In fact, when you mentioned a couple days ago, or maybe last week, that you were looking to get Blue Lots on, I was really excited to hear that, because you're right. I'd like to get the inside scoop on liquidation or Blue Lots or anything like that. I'd like to, like you said, I'd like to find out when and how they put the lots together and when they're going to come out available. And I can't remember if it's Blue Lots or bulk or one of them. I just found out today that you can click on something and it'll send you an alert when anything. What's that? Or bulk?
It's bulk. Yeah, you go out there, you put in your category that you like. It'll send you an alert. Hey, new lots are added. And when I spoke to bulk at ASD July, and they said a lot of the lots. So I said I like tools, electronics, and they said a lot of their tools and electronics will sell within minutes. So yeah, it sells fast. So you got to get out there either as soon as you get the link, or you got to beat it.
I'm telling you, I'm 11 o'clock at night, midnight, or whatever. I'm looking, and first thing in the morning I'm looking. Throughout the day I'm looking. I'm always looking for, and again, my parameters change for buying. I'm always up for, if I see something hot, something really good, something that I'll make my money back on easily. I jump on it. But because I'm really space challenged, and it's tough for me. Everything, listing and taking pictures is hard for me, obviously. So it takes longer for me. So I try to scale, is the word I'm looking for. Scale the business so it works with my abilities and the logistics of where I've got to put stuff, and how long I might have to hold it and that kind of thing. But yeah, no, every day I see lots, and I can't wait for you to get Blue Lots on to get some insight. And PS 101 is terrific. Thank you for the membership. I won the membership, and it's great. I try to get to their site every day. I haven't really been active as far as input goes. I've been more absorbing it from everybody else. But because there's only so much time during the day, and by the time you're done sourcing, and then when you have product come in, and you have to list it, and then I inventory everything. And I was looking at your spreadsheets, and someday when I can figure out how to share my screen, I'll show you. I do the same thing, but I'm still in Excel, because these are the only computers I use. But I do the same thing. Essentially, what you do is I download the CSV file, put that into inventory, and then I have tabs for sales, and I have tabs for cost of goods, and I have an expense tab, and I have sales tax. I did form an LLC, and I pay for business insurance, $1 million liability, and I have my sales tax license. Because one of the things, if you have your sales tax resale license, Bed Bath & Beyond has a for the trade program where it's 20% off all the time.
Wow.
Of everything. So if there's something clearance there, it's 20% off. And same thing with Pier 1 Imports. They have a similar program, but you have to have a tax resale license to get on there. So, but I take advantage of everything I can. There's a site called Ebates, and I don't know. I'm sure you've heard of it.
Heard of them.
But so what I do is when I buy anything, whether it's bubble wrap on eBay or the eBay or the shipping products, I buy it through Ebates because I get 1%, 3%. Some of the stuff I buy from Century 21 department store, I bought at 8% rebate. So you combine that with the clearance, and you really start to get your cost averages down. So I try to utilize every discount feature, and I would tell anybody, if you're buying anything online, buy it through Ebates, because it's free money. It's only 1% on eBay, but it's up to 8 or 10%. I'm going to be buying the new camera, which is a $500 proposition, and I'm waiting for this particular website through Ebates, and I'm going to get 8% back, which is $40. Which is a decent chunk of change. So you might as well take advantage of every clearance, every discount opportunity, everything that's out there. And if you work it, and if you have the time to work it, there's a lot.
Yeah. So along the line of Ebates, I'm with Ernie, EARNY. Have you ever heard of that? It's an app. You can download it on your phone, and you tie your credit card to it, and anything you buy off Amazon, it searches for, I want to say it's either 180 days or 90 days. And if it finds that the price has been lowered for that time period, they will cut a check back to you for the difference. And I think they keep like 5% of what they make. So I get the lowest price on everything. So from bubble mailers to, anything I order off Amazon, basically, it's always looking for the lowest price, and I get my money back.
That's true. And if you could do me a favor, maybe just text me or email me that thing. I'm like I said, I take advantage of every possible opportunity, and there are opportunities out there.
Yep.
And
I'll add a link down below in the description, and I'll email it to you. But I'll put the Ernie link down below just so you
great. Yeah, that would be great. Because I can't write anything right now.
Yeah.
I don't have a light on my desk, so all the light is behind me, and I can't. Like I said, I can barely see the computer, which is working out great for me because I'm not nervous.
Just you and I right now.
Yeah.
So if you had to pick, so if you've maybe out of your retail, out of your online, out of your liquidation, arbitrage, all that, if you had to say one item, what would be your most favorite item to buy? If I said I had 100 of them, and if you picked it, you'd buy it, what would it be?
That would be anything Joy-Con, Nintendo, NES, any of the Xbox. I would buy that in a New York minute, assuming it's at a good price.
You're right. Assuming you're at the Capitol, it's a great price, right? You could just
that stuff moves. I got Joy-Con and Xbox and Nintendo and lots, and I didn't have it for a day or 2 days at the max.
Yeah,
that's the fastest selling. I was at Bed Bath & Beyond, and they had some 7-inch box fans that were normally $19. They had them for $8 on clearance. I bought them all. They're cute. They're pink. I'd show one to you, but I don't have one around. But there's a pink one and a blue one, and the girls love the pink ones. I'm selling them for I think $24.99. Gone. gone within day. I sold one within hours of listing it. I'm thinking, a fan in winter?
Yeah.
But I mean, it's just amazing. Sometimes you just run across something. But you know, to answer your question, anything video game oriented or video game related, I mean, yeah, that's guaranteed money.
Yeah.
And fast money.
I would agree with that. And to your point, some items that you have no idea, like I had when I first started getting those pop sockets, and they had the plastic backing on them, they looked new, they had the paper on them. I said, I'm not going to list these. No one's going to buy these. Well, I had multiples in one lot, and they were brand new, and it was the weirdest kind of pattern on them. Well, I listed them for $13, and I sold all of them within a day and a half.
This is what I'm talking about. You just sometimes stumble. I mean, you know what your go-to items are, but
Yep.
I mean, you know, when I'm in a store and like Walgreens, and I see these battery chargers for $2, you know, I think to myself, oh, I bought again at Walgreens. I bought some iHome brand new keyboards. They're USB keyboards. They're not wireless, but they're brand new. I paid $1 for them each.
Yeah.
And I've been selling them for $9.99 plus shipping. And they're moving.
Really?
Yeah, I bought them all. So it's, you know, it's like if I'm in Walgreens and it's $1, it was $1.06 after tax. Right. So yeah, for $1.06, I say to myself, okay, I can put these on auction and add shipping and make my money back. Right. You know, so it's one of those things. Like you go to a store and you see something on clearance and it's just a great price and you know it is, buy it.
Yep.
Buy it, list it, and see what happens.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're coming up in an hour here. Does anyone in the chat have any other questions for Scott? And Scott, anything else you want to talk about? Anything that we didn't get to? I mean, we could always do this again. I mean, people have I've been reading the chat. You've had some very insightful and very inspiring story that you're doing. So I'm glad that you could share it with us.
Well, thank you for having me, and I want to thank Monica because I kind of feel like I'm filling in for Monica.
No, but we have you on as well. I mean, you're great wealth of knowledge as well as with everyone on. That's where I kind of want this to be a forum for everybody. If you want to come on and just talk, and you know, shoot me a message. You come on the chat, and we'll just talk.
I love it about your channel. That's why I watch, because it is a wealth of information. I mean, you know, and it's funny because you could pick up little nuggets of information from people, and they're not even really giving you, you know, ideas, but you just can pick up on something. And I do that every day with your channel. And I want to thank you for doing this. And I want to thank all the people that are on YouTube, because that's really what inspired me. And, you know, I think you had last night or one of the other nights, there was a new person on and said, you know, how do you get started? And I got to tell you, the best advice I can give is watch as much YouTube as you can, because you know, you get different perspectives, you get just input like crazy, and then that was to me, and that's free. You know, I mean, and it's fun. So I would tell anybody looking to get started, watch videos until you feel comfortable, and then list a couple of items. So, you know, like I said, start with something from that you don't want anymore, and start with some of your items around the house and get a taste and go from there.
Yep. All right. And then where can people find you if they have questions? Do you want to just be in the chat? Do you have an email? What do you have?
Sure. The email is scott@gottv.com. 2 TO getitgifts.com. That's
I'll add that below. If you don't mind, I'll add that below if they want to reach out to you.
Yeah, no, that would be fine. Absolutely. And if there's any way I can help anybody, I can't imagine I can help anybody, but if there's anything that you'd like to ask me or talk about, one thing I wanted, it seems to me like there's a great opportunity here with all these people. If we were to put our heads together and maybe think of something, and down the line or something that we can all have some input on or try something together. There just seems to be a wealth of abilities here, and ranging the spectrum. For Monica, who sells the Disney jewelry, there's all kinds of stuff here, and it seems to me like it's helped me individually, and I think I'd like to, my idea is hopefully like you to help everybody, right. Anybody that's watching, because one thing I really like is obviously positive feedback, and I've gotten a lot of that, and my customers have written very nice things, because a lot of them are very appreciative, and I find that to be more rewarding sometimes than the money. So, I had a girl buy one of my fans, and she bought a pink fan. And after she bought it, she sent me an email right away, or a note, and said, "Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I love white noise. I'm a white noise person, and my fan broke, and I'm without a job." And she was just so happy to get this pink fan. She hadn't even gotten it yet. She just bought it, and it made my day. It made the negative feedback more tolerable. So if there's any way I can help anybody out there, if anybody, I'd like to come back on. If anybody wants me to come back on.
Yeah, definitely.
I talk too much, I know, but I tend to get, when I get up what I call on a jazz about something that I enjoy, I just keep going. So I got to shut up because it's been an hour.
No, you're good. Passion. We like it. So, all right.
Again, thank you. Thank you for everybody watching. Thank you, Chris, for doing what you do. I can't say that enough. It really, truly inspired me and has helped me tremendously. So I want to thank you and thank everybody in the chat, because they have helped me as well.
Yep, and I'm thankful for you coming on, sharing what you have, hearing your side of the story, and glad we can make this happen. And we'll do it. We'll definitely do it again. So,
looking forward to it.
All right, Scott. Everybody in the chat, thanks for coming on. Reach out to Scott down below. Hit the like button, and if you have any other questions, shoot him an email.
Good night, guys.
See ya.